You're listening to Fanboy Versus with your hosts, J.D. Church, Chris McFeely, Chris Triplett, and Brian Kilby.
And you are listening to Fanboy Versus. I am your host, JD, joined by Chris Triplett and Chris McFeely. How's it going, guys?
Hello. Hello, it's going pretty good.
Yes.
I've been watching cartoons all day.
Yes.
What you been watching?
I've been watching everything. I mean, I saved up Transformers Prime and I watched it as a movie last night.
I'm sorry?
So I got like all of the other cartoons from this weekend to watch. And there were new episodes of Iron Man out as well, and other things. So yeah, I've just been watching cartoons since about.
I think there was a new
3
episode of Avengers today, and I missed
Yes, there
it.
was. Yes, there was.
There
I
was.
watched it.
I'm just actually at very second clicking on the button that will provide me with it.
I
Yeah.
won't spoil it, I guess, then, since you guys haven't seen it.
I mean, what's it coming on Sunday? And I think it came on Sunday in the morning. I mean, what's up with that? I want
It wasn't
to be
even. Actually, it just played. It was on at just like an hour or two ago.
I missed it again
so.
then, apparently.
Maybe not. I don't know. Seemed like it was. But anyway. Yeah. It was interesting.
Well, it looks like it's going to be on Sundays consistently now after this.
Huh.
Oh, really? They're moving it? It's not going to be Wednesdays anymore?
Yeah, I'm seeing the dates for the next episodes are the 12th and the 19th.
Has Young Justice actually started?
No,
It don't
no.
start till January.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid I was missing it. I was like, why is my TiVo not getting it? And then Prime ended, and that was, yeah, it was definitely a series mini. Yep. Okay, so today it is Fanboy versus Secret Six, as we're going to talk about the wrap-up to the current storyline and lots of other stuff. But we'll talk about some news in the interim, and I always go to Chris McFeely for that. So what you got, sir?
It's all other media news again this week. It always annoys me whenever that's all we ever have to talk about, but it seems to be where all the news heads this week. And some of the big news this week is out of the Spider-Man musical, which is in previews at the minute.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Do you know what I've decided?
What's that?
I would really, really like to see this.
You know,
I never will.
I wish they'd
Unless
release like a
it's on
DVD
DVD or
of
something.
it.
I'm sure they
Yeah.
will. I'm sure that you actually can get, especially like original productions and stuff. There usually are DVDs of a lot of shows like that. Something this big where they're going to be trying to get their money back any way possible. I imagine there will be a DVD of it. Now, the question
This is the most expensive Broadway show ever.
yes,
And I think I read somewhere it costs like $1 million a show or something.
yeah, it's pretty.
That may be wrong, but I thought I heard that somewhere.
It's something insanely expensive. I don't know how much exactly it
I mean,
costs.
they're gonna have to. I mean, tickets are in the hundreds, like as far as I understand.
And I know unfortunately though that it doesn't seem like many of the productions have gone very well. I know.
Yeah, well, it's all been in. It hasn't actually like started. It's not open to the public yet.
like it's opening
previews
like in
thus far.
January or something, I think.
Preview nights thus far, which
Yeah.
have apparently been halted a few times with technical difficulties, like just getting stuck in mid-web swing or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's got Swarm in it. How did I not know this?
Swarm.
Swarm, a Nazi made of bees in a cape.
I did not
On
know
Broadway.
this.
Swarm is in this musical.
Who isn't
Swarm?
it?
I believe it's the Goblin, Carnage, the Lizard,
Craven's
Swarm,
in it.
Craven.
Yeah.
and the Swiss Miss character. I think that's 6, and I think that's the Sinister Six.
That is.
And as I understand it, the radioactive spider has a musical number.
Nice.
No. You know,
I understand it.
Okay.
Personified by the Greek figure Arachne, it has a musical number.
You know, here's something that probably a lot of our listeners don't know about me. I'm kind of a theater nerd. My wife is actually a music theater performer, and I love musicals. So, yeah, I mean, talking about like wanting to see this, like I can see where the story of Spider-Man can be a really interesting musical. I can see where, certain moments and certain beats along that storyline would make for an interesting musical. I'm just, I have no idea if this is actually going to be of any quality. I don't know. But
the thing is that Broadway is one of the few mediums that exists today now where critics can actually make or break something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I haven't heard very favorable response from critics thus far.
Not a one.
To the preview show. But that's hardly that surprising, is it?
No. Well, I mean, again, the problem is
I just know that I would really like to see it.
Oh, man. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like if I could get tickets now to go to New York and go to see the show, I would, because I would love to see this. And this is not a show that's going to tour, I don't think. I mean, with all the technics, there's no way. Now, I tell you where this show will probably end up is in Vegas. There's a lot of shows that play in New York. If they don't play for very long there, then they'll end up going to Vegas or they'll go to L.A., and they'll end up setting down in a theater there. A good example of that is Avenue Q. They didn't play for terribly long in New York, but they picked up roots and moved to Vegas, and they've been playing there, I think, ever since. So, so it may find a home at least somewhere else. I don't think it's gonna jump the pond and end up in the West End or anything. But yes, I am a theater nerd. Thank you. But anyway, I've seen a show out there, by the way, in London. So anyway, yes, Spider-Man musical, unfortunately not doing very good. So that'll be fun.
Interesting, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's fascinating. And
I think it's just purely on the fact that Swarm, isn't it? That was like that female symbiote turning up in the Spider-Man Islands of Adventure ride at Universal Studios. It is like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What else in the news? Well, sticking with Spider-Man, sticking with Spider-Man and weird, obscure Spider-Man characters. Another bit of casting news out of this week for the Spider-Man movie. Well, first of all, they've cast his parents, which I don't even remember who the actors are that's playing them, but that hardly seems to matter because it's just more interesting is the fact that his parents are in it, which again, along with Uncle Ben, seems to lean towards origin territory.
Yeah, that's weird.
Which is unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all included and hoped we wouldn't be seeing again when we talked about this last. But then the weird thing, which again leads origin territory again, is a new bit of casting. An actor named, I don't know, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Irfan Khan, has been cast as a character named Nels Van Adder. Now, you probably, that actually is someone from the comics, and you probably don't know who it is, because we are talking seriously obscure. Back in the late 90s, I believe it was, Marvel did, yes, it was the late, it was 97-ish, I think it was. Marvel did a minus month, and all their comics for that month, I think nearly all of them anyway, most of them certainly, were -1 issues, which showed us secret things from the pasts of the characters from before issue 1. And I believe it was Spectacular Spider-Man. Can't remember which Spidey title it was exactly, but I think it was Spectacular Spider-Man. Did a story about Norman Osborn before he became the Green Goblin, testing out the formula. If you remember the story of Norman's origin from the comics, he actually found the notes for the Goblin formula inside Mendelstrom's desk when he broke it open in a fit of rage. So this story showed him testing the formula that he made using the notes on this. I think he was I think he might have been a custodial engineer, Nels Van Adder, and turned him into this red monstrosity. And in the cover of the comic, called him the Proto-Goblin. He wasn't called that in the comic, but the cover called him the Proto-Goblin because it was, he was the prototypical goblin. And this guy has been cast as his human alias. Will we see the Proto-Goblin in the film? Baffling.
That's weird. That's really weird.
Wow. What?
I
Yeah,
wonder what they're.
what?
I'm really interested to see this movie to see what in the hell is going on with it. Because it just all the casting has just been really weird, and I don't know. Because like they told us that hey, we've got like all this baggage from the Raimi movies. We need to kind of lose that and kind of start over, and it doesn't sound like it sounds like we're gonna create new baggage.
Yeah, it does. It does seem like there's a lot of like new elements that seem unnecessary that are coming in to play. I don't know.
Hey, here's a crazy idea. He's a kid. He goes to high school and he fights crime as Spider-Man. Can we get that, please?
That sounds great. They should do a whole comic book series like that.
Maybe he fights the Spot in the movie.
Well, the way this thing is going right now, thing fell out of my ear. The way this thing is going right now, I half expect the Spot to appear. I expect the next casting announcement to be for Dr. Jonathan Owen.
Well, we've already got casting for Kirk Connors, so it kind of looks like we might be getting the Lizard.
Oh, people
If not
have been
now.
saying
Are you
that.
kidding? That dude was in 3 movies and nothing.
Yeah, I know.
So
I'm confident we would have seen the Lizard in Spider-Man 4 if it would have happened. It was going to happen. I'm confident.
well, it is happening-ish, and we're still not going to get him. So I'm
Well,
just
speaking
saying.
of things that you never thought you would conceivably get,
Or want.
something else new out of the CW this week. Raven of the Teen Titans might be getting her own television series.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Why would they do that?
Because the CW desperately needs something to take the place of Smallville.
I thought they were aren't they doing the Wonder Woman series?
That's going to be on
They don't
another
consider that a
another network?
replacement for Smallville.
I don't.
Maybe they don't consider that a replacement for Smallville on account of it's not teen targeted or whatever.
But Raven's such an uninteresting character without other people.
Raven's also not Superman level known.
No.
I mean, honestly,
Well,
I didn't
she's not
know,
even Robin.
Why?
I didn't-
Yeah, like they
know Raven
She couldn't
until
get the
like,
Robin show up there.
Okay.
It's not like...
I've got an idea. Let's do a TV series. We'll call it Gotham, and
Yeah.
we'll see a young Bruce Wayne as he's like training and developing himself, and there'll be all this stuff about like bats that fly around and
his
and
best
stuff.
friend is a young guy that might be the Joker. We don't know.
We don't
right?
know. It could be. He always wears red hats.
He'll
Well,
save
this will
him.
be season 1, maybe season 2, but then come season 3, his friend will turn into the Joker, and then he'll fight Clayface and the Penguin and the
Yes.
Riddler and Catwoman.
Yeah.
Except they won't have costumes and they won't have powers.
No.
But they'll be in it. And maybe in
Yeah.
these little fan notes, like for 5 seconds at the end of really short, unsatisfying fights,
Yep.
they might look like their comic book selves for
Yep.
half of a second.
And
And
then
then that would be awesome.
yes,
It'd
and you'll
run
have
for
like
10 seasons.
little like shadows. Like he'll be standing there, and then he'll be like standing in front of something. It'll be like a shadow, and you almost see ears. Like, oh man, that would be a great TV series.
God, that sounds like
Yeah,
gold.
man,
Why
they
aren't we
should
getting
make that. They should make that with Superman.
Yes. Yes. Oh, or they could do Raven.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good too. Because the Raven, then they could do all this future foreshadowing